What's good, y'all? All right, so I'm not really surprised here that no, can anybody really be surprised? Because I'm surely not. I know there's a lot of people throughout the wrestling bubble that is surprised. Like Britt Baker is actually wanting to depart from AEW. Like she wants out. But here's the thing, though. Uh, Tony Khan, like when AEW first started and everybody was praising, AEW and Tony Khan for like, creating like this wonderful company at the time that's going to go head to head with the WWE at the time, because when Vince was in control, everybody was sick of it and they wanted to change. So it's all right, we got AEW. And I think from what the report said in the past, that I think Britt Baker was like the first one to they've ever signed at the time. So I'm like, all right. Now, Britt Baker, throughout the years, she was like their like feature. Like she was one of their AEW homegrown talent, and the one that was, I guess, leading like the division at one point. Sure, there was like some hiccups here and there, but she did get it together like throughout her heel run, and she was on top at one point. Now, because of injuries, it kind of like sidelined her from her career, right? And we don't know if this, I guess, like the spat between, like, I guess when MJF, no, I think even MJF's girlfriend at the time heard that Britt Baker was talking crap about him. We don't know if that had anything to do with it. We don't know, but there's a lot of things that people can speculate on about like Britt Baker's career in AEW. Most of it you could probably blame on Tony Khan anyway, because every time that you have like a wrestler, he's always like sidelining them. Like you look at the reports that we heard about Rusev recently, that there was things that Rusev didn't want to do because of the creative that Tony Khan had. So if it wasn't for injury, most of it was because Rusev was like, all right, I'm not doing this. Malachi Black, when he was in there, he didn't want to lose. So it's like, okay, he giving him like this garbage creative. He probably like, oh, I want you to lose to like AR Fox or some jobber. And Alistair's like, I don't want to lose to this fucking guy. Like the story doesn't make sense. It has to mean something. So he was another person. He was all right, I'm only gonna use you in like tag team matches. I'm not gonna push you as a solo. He only did it one time when he showed up to AEW. And he had that feud with Cody Rhodes, and then that was it. And I think some other things that he did, that was it. But it wasn't really memorable, besides like the Cody Rhodes feud. But with Britt Baker, it's like it's the same way. It's like you didn't really see her being pushed afterwards, like after like the whole injury bit. And then when she did came back, okay, what did she have a stint with? I think Mercedes Moné. I think she did something with Toni Storm, I think, in the past. I could be so wrong, but I think she did something with Toni Storm. But I do remember the whole Mercedes Moné bit that they had a program together. But again, after that, that was really it. You didn't really have her do anything else. And then Tony Khan just moved over to like when Megan Bayne came over, and it's like, all right, now the attention was on Megan Bayne. Now before Megan Bayne, it was Mariah May. Mariah May was there for like a year or two. She was there for, okay, she was being pushed. She had a feud with Toni Storm. She won the women's championship. Then she lost the championship to Toni Storm, and then that was it. But you know, you saw what happened there. Like once when her contract was up, she left and she went to NXT. And the thing is, with like most of the wrestlers that's on Tony Khan's roster, it's either he has nothing for them creatively, and he either just have them sit at home, just don't have them do anything. And Britt Baker, she's still like a dentist, so she has something to fall back on. But it's like, if a person her age wants to wrestle and wants to get her name out there, how is it that she's going to get her name out there if you got a guy that's is always like these stop and start type pushes? Is the same thing with Wardlow. Wardlow should have been a world heavyweight champion over there. He should have been one of like their big names. I mean, at the time, he was slowly getting there. Everybody was behind him. He was getting pops. He was getting a larger reaction. What did Tony Khan do? He didn't know what the hell he didn't know what to do with Wardlow. He didn't know what to do with him. And it's like, now you look at it. Okay, sure. Well, Wardlow had like an injury. Okay, kept him off of television. But now we're hearing that he's going to be in The Gladiator, and he's doing all these other projects. And Wardlow has not been seen on AEW television in months. months you have not seen Wardlow. But again, Wardlow was another guy. Okay, yeah, he won the TNT championship, I think twice, I think. But he should have been a world heavyweight champion. He should have been a main event guy. Tony Khan fumbled and he didn't know what he was doing. Look at Ricky Starks or Saints. He was another guy who should have been a world heavyweight champion. What did you do? You fumbled the ball on that. And it's like, okay, now he's in NXT doing well. Ethan Page, he was another guy that showed promise. You could have used him better. He did not. So it's like you got all these people who is much happier in the WWE right now than they were in AEW. So we're going to see exactly what they're going to do with Rusev at the moment. But when I guess Britt Baker does leave AEW, she's going to probably be a big win. Well, it will be a big win for the WWE because then they can book her into something. But I know that because of injuries that she had, I think it was either a stroke or back problems or something that she had that did keep her off of television for a while. So I know WWE is going to probably look at that too and be like, well, we do want her. We want her here, but we just got to make sure that nothing goes wrong, because they want to use her because I think Britt Baker, I think she's either 33, 34, I think. So they're going to use her accordingly and they're going to use her really well. And she's not going to be booked the way how Tony was booking her. Because again, when she was there in AEW, yeah, she was booked and people was like, okay, she's one of their own. She's heading the division, right? She got better over time. People was liking her, right? She was getting pops. She was a females world heavyweight champion at one point. Everybody was behind this woman. She had the division. But then, as we all know what Tony does, it's like he gets bored after a while or something happens and then he moves on to a next play toy. He moves on to the next toys that he wants to play around with. Now his toys is Mercedes Moné and Toni Storm. So, and those two women are the two biggest women in his in his AEW roster right now. So again, it sucks because you could have done something with Britt Baker. Britt Baker could have done something. You had her do anything. Now, okay, another wrestler, I should say, Megan Bayne. She has a great size, great build on her. You got her doing pointless tag team matches with Penelope Ford, and she's basically doing nothing. If she was in the WWE, they would have built her strong. Again, Tony Khan's booking is horrible, and most of the wrestlers that is there in AEW is slowly waking up to that factor, is that his shit is garbage. His booking is atrocious. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing. So that's why some of them is going to wake up and be like, I kind of worn out. But see, here's the thing. If Tony Khan allows Britt Baker to leave her contract, right, then people's just gonna see Tony Khan as a sucker because he did that to Rey Fenix, he did it to Rusev, he did it to I think Aleister Black, he did it to Ricky Starks, people who should have been released for a very long time. He was like, all right, I'm gonna let you out. Even Rey Fenix, there was reports, okay, he added time to his contract, but then Rey Fenix was going on Twitter or X. It was complaining that, inhumane treatments, AEW is garbage. And we all know Tony, he doesn't like conflict, as we've seen with the whole CM Punk Brawl Out debacle. So we all know he doesn't like conflict. He doesn't want too much negative press on AEW. He doesn't want it. So if people is complaining and it really gets out there, he's like, fuck it, because he doesn't want to deal with conflict. So he's just going to release him. Now, if Britt Baker starts complaining, and she starts talking about inhumane treatments and saying how, this and that and certain events happen, then he's not going to want to hear the shit. He'll, all right, fuck it. I want you to go. But you can look at it in another way as well, where, okay, if he allows her to leave, they're going to see Tony Khan as a sucker, but they're going to be like, anybody can basically leave. Now, if Tony Khan keeps her, then people are going to say, oh, he's messed up for keeping her. But see, if you're a boss or a booker, you are supposed to, if that person's contract is supposed to expire within the next year or next couple of months, you're supposed to say, all right, fuck it. I'm going to use you until I can't use you no more, or just sit you out and you wait out your contract, either or. But he shouldn't allow her to leave. He should stand on his morals. Vince did it a few times when people was like, hey, I want out. Nope, you're going to stay. You're going to stay until your contract is up and then you go. Or sometimes they would be lenient and they would grant them their release. Because when Toni Storm was in the WWE at one point and she wanted her release, they granted it. They said okay, because at that time they seen nothing in her. Now that she's doing this whole 1950s old classic woman gimmick, they like, oh okay, there's something there compared to when she was rocking, I think, like the 80s gimmick that she was doing, and they see nothing in her. So it's like there's a lot of potential that you could see what they could do with most of like the superstars that's in AEW, that if you bring them over to WWE, they can make them out of something. And we're starting to see some of it because Stephanie Vaquer just used AEW just to get to the WWE. Jordan Grace never even considered going to AEW. Let's see who else. Ricky Starks wanted out. Ethan Page fucking said, "Fuck this place, I want out." Right, and now you're gonna have Britt Baker, who's another one who's like, all right, Tony Khan, it was fun. You're not using me. You don't know how to use me. I want out of here. And he's like, wait. Like, I could probably give you more money. And that's the only thing that this guy is really concerned about. It's the money. It's the money. Sure, most people would take it if they really need the money. But if they don't want to be treated like garbage and they want to be used, they want to be featured, they want to feel like something, they want to feel like they mean something in the wrestling world, rather than just, oh, pay you and you do nothing. Nobody wants that shit. Josh Alexander, he went over there and he didn't want to take a pay cut from WWE. He said, fuck it, I'd rather go to AEW, where he knew Tony was going to pay him a gazillion amounts of dollars, which he most likely did. But look at his career though. He's getting pinned and he's in a pointless stable with Don Callis. It's like, and he was called like the living weapon or the walking weapon. It's like, okay, that sounds like a dope name. But he said, fuck it, I'd rather take money from this fucking guy rather than going to like the WWE. So if you have wrestlers like that who will still take Tony up on his offer, but they will get treated like garbage and they will be booked into an oblivion. But with Britt Baker, seeing how she wants out, and she's probably want to giving like the WWE a chance and seeing like what that could do for her career. Now, I think that if she goes to the WWE, she might probably do maybe better than Jade, in my opinion. I think she probably might do a lot better than Jade if she was to go, but we shall see into the future on Britt Baker's like career and the direction that they're gonna probably go into. Because who knows, Tony Khan could probably like throw her more money and maybe convince her to stay, and then all of this can get swept underneath the rug. But if she's seriously thinking about saying, well, this guy doesn't really know what he's doing, and I feel like I've stayed here, I've overstayed my welcome, and it's time for me to leave, then I can see Britt Baker just saying, you know what, it's time for me to leave. Tony, it was fun, it was nice, I can't really stay here, and plus my ex is here and I see him on a daily. It's not like Raw and SmackDown where they're on different shows, different dates and time, so she's gonna see this man all the time. So she's not staying. I don't think she's gonna stay. I think she's gonna pack it up and then she's gonna go to WWE and hopefully make a career over there and be a star and have like great matches and great storylines, hopefully, that can come out of it. But let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think of Britt Baker like leaving AEW and potentially going to the WWE, or do you guys think that Tony might swindle his way and he might have that Tony charm and convince her to stay, and all's well that ends well type shit? But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, share, do all that wonderful stuff. Catch you all in the next one.